A sleeping giant is awakening in the Pacific, and it's not China. In 2025, Japan has launched an aircraft carrier that's turning heads and raising eyebrows in Washington. Once bound by post-World War II peace clauses, Japan is now reshaping its military, and the world is watching. In this video, we'll explore the rise of Japan's new supercarrier, what makes it so feared, and why even the US is taking notice. This isn't just a ship, it's a statement. For decades, Japan maintained a self-defense stance. But today things have changed. Regional threats, North Korean missiles, and China's growing naval presence have pushed Tokyo to act. The centerpiece of this transformation? The JS Kaga II, Japan's first fully operational aircraft carrier since World War II, and it's not just big, it's strategic, smart, and dangerous. This is Japan re-entering the carrier game, and it's not playing by old rules. Originally classified as a helicopter destroyer, the original JS Kaga was meant for defense. But Japan quietly rebuilt it, reinforcing the flight deck, modifying the hangars, and adding electromagnetic launch systems. The new Kaga II is a different beast. It can now deploy F-35B stealth fighters, anti-submarine helicopters, and UAVs. This ship has evolved from a support vessel into a power projection platform, and its timing couldn't be more deliberate. The F-35B is what turned this ship into a threat. With vertical takeoff and landing capability, these stealth fighters don't need catapults or long runways. They give the Kaga II offensive reach, precision strike ability, and 5th-gen situational awareness. Imagine dozens of stealth fighters launching from a Japanese deck in the South China Sea evading radar, striking targets and returning undetected. That's why this ship matters now more than ever. Unlike other navies, Japan doesn't boast about its ships. But make no mistake, the Kaga II was designed with strategic messaging in mind. It features radar-absorbing materials, a sleek minimal profile design, and low observable tech that makes it harder to track. Combined with its stealth aircraft, it's a ghost in the water. Its silence speaks volumes, and to adversaries, that silence is a warning. The Kaga II isn't just stealthy, it's intelligent. Integrated AI systems manage flight operations, threat detection, and drone coordination. It uses Japan's homegrown Aegis radar variant, upgraded with artificial intelligence for faster tracking and better missile guidance. It can even detect hypersonic threats earlier than traditional systems. The ship's tech core makes it less reliant on US support and more capable of leading in the Indo-Pacific. Japan isn't just building a carrier, it's building a new military doctrine. For years, Japan followed a pacifist constitution, limiting its military to defensive roles. But now, Tokyo's posture is changing. The Kaga II represents a shift from defensive deterrence to forward deterrence, projecting force beyond its shores. It's a quiet but firm signal. Japan will protect its interests, even if it means striking first. Japan's geography makes the Kaga II even more important. Nestled between China, Russia, and North Korea, Japan sits on some of the world's most critical sea lanes. The Kaga II can patrol the East China Sea, Taiwan Strait, and South Pacific within hours. With this reach, Japan can now support allies, challenge Chinese expansion, and respond to emergencies, all from a floating fortress just over the horizon. Japan isn't just building a ship, it's building a strike group. Kaga II will operate alongside destroyers like the Maya class, submarines, and supply vessels. It will receive air cover from ground-based fighters and satellite support from Japan's growing space program. This synergy creates a fully operational, multi-domain task force capable of dominating in air, sea, and electronic warfare. So why would the US be afraid of an ally's new ship? It's not fear, it's cautious respect. While Japan and the US are close allies, Washington knows that Japan's rising capabilities could shift regional power dynamics. As Japan gains independence in defense tech and doctrine, its moves become less predictable. The Kaga II also adds pressure on the US to modernize its own aging carrier fleet. China's growing navy, now the world's largest, has been pushing aggressively in disputed waters. Japan's new carrier is a direct counter to that expansion. It allows Tokyo to operate more independently in contested zones, enforce air defense identification zones, (ADIZ), and challenge naval blockades. It's not just a ship, it's a statement to Beijing. Japan is no longer on the sidelines. If a conflict were to erupt over Taiwan, the Kaga II would be crucial. It could serve as a mobile base for air support, logistics, and even humanitarian aid. Japan's government has already signaled its intent to defend Taiwan indirectly, and this ship gives them the means to do it. Whether for combat or deterrence, the Kaga 2 plays a key role in any potential flashpoint. Not everyone in Japan supports this military shift. Domestic critics argue that rearming undermines decades of peace and diplomacy. Activists fear this carrier marks a step toward militarization and entanglement in future wars. However, polls show that public support for stronger defense is growing, especially among younger voters, concerned about regional instability. Japan's new carrier is already influencing navies around the world. Australia, India, and South Korea are watching closely. Some are accelerating their own carrier or amphibious assault ship programs in response. Even China is rumored to be updating its stealth fighter deployments to counter Japan's new capabilities. In just a few years, the Kaga 2 has reshaped the Pacific naval chessboard. One of the Kaga 2's most revolutionary features is its unmanned integration. Future plans include launching combat drones, underwater UAVs, and autonomous surveillance systems. These will allow the carrier to extend its reach without risking pilots, conduct strikes in GPS-denied environments, and gather intelligence far behind enemy lines. Japan is preparing not just for today's wars, but for tomorrow's AI-driven battlefield. Behind every powerful ship is a powerful crew. Japan has invested heavily in carrier training, working with US Navy experts and running joint exercises. Pilots are now mastering carrier landings, and crews are being trained for complex multi-domain operations. With each drill, Japan's forces get sharper, and the Kaga 2 becomes not just a symbol, but a real force multiplier. The Kaga 2 is only the beginning. Japan is already planning next-gen destroyers, hypersonic missiles, and AI-driven reconnaissance fleets. There's talk of a second, larger carrier on the horizon, one that could rival US flat tops in scale. Japan is back in the game, and this time it's building a military not just to defend, but to lead in a world of rising threats and fading alliances. The rise of Japan's new carrier marks a historic pivot from pacifist power to proactive protector. The Kaga 2 isn't just a ship, it's a new chapter in the balance of power in the Pacific. Whether it's seen as a guardian or a game-changer depends on who's watching. If you found this breakdown insightful, like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Is Japan's return to the seas a warning or a welcome shift? Until next time, stay sharp and watch the waves.